between your cut and your ass and make your jumper time to flip a smoke a blunt with your ass. I'm saying, this shit is. So let's get into it. I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome to What We Watch. Welcome to What We Watch Film TV. This is Tristen J Winger from AKA Thug Yoda from Insecure HBO. So y'all know the name, y'all know the game. Um, Tristen, welcome.
What is happening?
So
Thank you for having
of
me.
course, of course. So we introed you with the Neptunes, and
Hmm.
talk to us a little bit about why you chose to intro with the Neptunes presents Clones and the intro song specifically. Tell us where that came from.
So I love the Neptunes. Like even back when I didn't even know who the Neptunes were. Like I remember the first CD that I bought was Mace Harlem World. And I remember my favorite song from that album was Looking at Me. And I just kept listening to that song on repeat. Of course, the rest of the album was cool, but like Looking at Me by Mace was my shit.
Mm.
And then years later, when I was in like high school, getting ready to go to college, I entered this phase where I was really into music production and I really loved the Neptunes. And they had a website, Star Trek, their label. And so I would look at their website and see their discography and see all the songs they produced. And then I saw, oh shit, they produced Looking at Me by Mace. No wonder I like this song so much. So when
Ooh.
that album came out, it came out in summer 2003 as I started college. That intro just spoke to me. Like I just loved that intro from the Neptunes Present Clones. I wore that CD out.
I think to this day I wear that CD out. Do you?
Hmm.
I'm the
Absolutely.
same way. So it's interesting, right? Because we're going to get into a little bit further. You got a little bit to know about Tristen with on the music production side, but let's talk about Thug Yoda on Insecure. That's who people know
Hmm.
you by. That's where we're going to start. I want to know about your origin story. I want to know about where you started, how you met Issa, why Issa chose you to be Thug Yoda, why we all fell in love with Thug Yoda. Like, talk to us a little bit about where you came from and how you got to be on the popular and amazing show Insecure, you know?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm born and raised in South Central LA. I went to high school with Issa. We were supposed to be doctors. We went to a high school that is kind of near Watts in Compton, King Drew Medical Magnet High School. The full name is King Drew Medical Magnet High School of Medicine and Science, and that is across the street from the from um, Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital and next to the Charles Richard Drew University campus. And so we were supposed to be doctors. My ninth grade year, me and Issa are the same class, and I joined the drama club. Issa was in drama club as well, and we put on a play called On Strivers Row, and we've been friends ever since. And then fast forward to like after
Hold
college.
on a second. You
Uh-huh.
said you were supposed to be doctors?
Uh-huh.
Y'all went to
Yeah.
school and y'all were like, we finna be MD.
Fucking
And then
doctors
y'all
in this
said,
motherfucker.
no, actually, let's be on TV. That's amazing. I just love hearing the Hollywood kind of transitions. I think it's very rare that you hear people start off from like an actor entertaining perspective. They always like have, history from a different profession. But go ahead, go ahead.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we decided, yeah, we don't want to do this shit. But yeah, fast forward to after college. I saw she had done dorm diaries with her friends, and she had the Fly Guys present the F word with Animal, her brother, and his group, his group, the Fly Guys, and that shit was so damn funny. If you haven't seen Fly Guys present the F word on YouTube, please watch it. They got like 7 seasons. Every episode is fucking gold. And she had just started Awkward Black Girl. This is 2011, and I hit her up, and I hit her up on Facebook, and I was just like, hey. Let me know if you need help with any of your web series. I want to get back into acting. And then she hit me back and she was just like, yeah. The next day she sent me the script for episode 4 of Awkward Black Girl. And she was, and I was reading the script, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, cool. I bet I'm Fred. All right, for sure. Love interest. Let's get it." And then I just hit her up. I was like, "To clarify, which role would you like me to play?" In the back of my mind, I'm like, "It's obviously Fred." And she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna be Darius?" And then I looked at the script and I saw Darius, and he had a few lines, and at that time I was like, lines are everything. And this dude only got a couple lines, boring. But then I read the lines, and you know, I don't know if anyone has ever read a script for Insecure, like by chance, just
I
by
have.
coming across. It's written so damn funny. Like just reading it is
It is.
fucking hilarious. And so Issa wrote Awkward Black Girl, and it's the same thing. Like everything in the action lines is just hilarious. And so reading it, I'm like, oh, she called Darius a baby voice nigga. The description of Darius was just a low talker, and I'm just like, okay, well that's funny as shit. And she just wanted me to play that role, just to be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll help out Tristen. And then I did it, and then it people responded so well to Darius that she just kept bringing me back for Awkward Black Girl. And we did 2 seasons of that, and I'm hella grateful for that. And then once she got her pilot with HBO to do Insecure, I originally auditioned for Lawrence. I did, let's see, I did one, two, three, I did about 4 auditions. So I got all the way up to the chemistry read. And these were week after week. So I knew like if once I did the chemistry read and then I didn't hear anything the next week, I was like, well, that means I did not get the part of Lawrence. And I just
Mhm.
hit her up. I was just like, hey, let me know if there's anything I could have done different. She was like, no, there's nothing you could have done differently. It just is what it. Yeah, she's like, there's nothing you could have done differently. But just know if this show gets made, I'm keeping you at the front of my mind. That was August 2015. Fast forward to November 2015. Uh, she got news that Insecure got picked up to series. I hit her up. Congratulations. I'm so proud. So happy for you. She's like, still got you at the front of my mind. Fast forward to January 2016. She texts me out of the blue. Hey, Tristen, I think I found the perfect role for you for Insecure. She's like, I'm going to send you the scene tomorrow. Let me know what you think. She sent me the scene, and in the email, I said, so I have this character, Thug Yoda. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, we can find something else. First of all, who says if you don't like this role in this HBO TV show, then we can find something else for you? Who says that? No one says that is the answer. But Issa put that in the email. I read the scene and I'm reading it out loud in front of my girlfriend at the time and her roommate, and it's just fucking hilarious that she wrote Thug Yoda this way, and I'm just like, I know who this guy is. It's an LA nigga. I know who this dude is. He probably talk like this, or he probably sound like Ray J a little bit. Okay, he probably sound like Nipsey Hussle a little bit when he's serious. All right, for sure. Just mend those two together, and we got Thug Yoda for sure. All right, so this is the voice right here. I'm gonna just sound like this. All right, bet. So I email her back. I'm like, yes, I'll be your Thug Yoda. She's like, you still got audition? I was like, okay, for sure. Um, Audition for Thug Yoda. I go in as soon as I leave my car. I'm dressed. I like to go to auditions in costume, so I leave my car. I'm wearing a white tank top, some baggy ass Levi 501s. I have some all red Air Force Ones on. I walk into the production office where her assistant at the time, can't remember her name, sorry, but she knows me, and so I walk into the office in character, and she starts dying as soon as I walk into the room. And in my head, I'm like, yes, thank God, yes. Somebody thinks this shit is funny. Cool. Walk into the room, the audition room with Issa, Melina, Prentice, um, Vicky, the casting director, HBO folks, Three Arts folks. Everyone's in that room. It's a small room, and people are already fucking chuckling. I'm like, yes, this is a good sign. Do the audition. They want me to do another take. Melina is like, can you make him more dangerous? And I'm like, okay, for sure. I won't even be funny. I'll just be like, this nigga just killed somebody, for sure. I do the scene. I'm driving home. Issa texts me like, that was fucking hilarious. Don't shave. Don't get a haircut. I was like, okay. April 1st, 2016. Issa texts me. She's like, HBO approved. Congratulations. I'm hype as fuck. And then I'm like, wait a second. Today's April Fool's Day. I said, this better not be an April Fool's joke. She's like, that would be really fucked up. This is not an April Fool's joke. Um, yeah, and then the day before, actually, I'll save that part. I feel like you have another question, but like that was the journey leading up to Insecure. Uh-oh, is my speaker working? My mic working? Oh no, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh God. I'm like, I was talking this whole time. Did, did anyone hear that?
I feel like the sound might have got lost for just a second, but the last thing I heard was like they wanted you to be more violent or something if you want to start
Oh.
from there.
Okay, so so yes, they Melina was like, "Can you do one that's more violent?" Did that. As I was driving home, Issa texted me that she told me not to shave. She was like, "Don't shave, don't get a haircut." Then on April 1st, 2016, she texted me and was like, "HBO approved, congratulations." I was excited, and then I was like, "Wait a second, today's April Fool's Day. This better not be a joke." And she was like, "No, this is definitely not a joke. You got it. So congratulations." And yeah, the rest is history.
Me? Can y'all hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, y'all hear me, right? Y'all,
Yes.
Tristan, first of all, thank you so much for carrying that. Brandy, both of y'all, thank you. Twitter Spaces has been awful. I'm going to report this immediately. But thank you so much for carrying that, Tristan, and walking through. You cut out for like 10 minutes for me, but it seemed like everybody else heard it. So let's get back to it, though. My apologies. It wasn't me. It was freaking technology. But we back in it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you was going off, and I was dying laughing, to be honest, because you swear you're gonna be a love interest, and you never get the love interest. What is going? Why are they playing you like that, right? So you walked us through awkward black girl, then into insecure as Thug Yoda, which is why everyone's here, right? Why who everyone knows you as. And so, could you repeat the last bit that you were saying? Because that's what I missed, the last bit, and then I'll see how we can move forward.
what was the last part you heard?
The last part I heard was you were talking about getting the part, and she said something about like I'm still keeping you at the forefront of my mind. So,
Okay. Well, yeah. So,
so she said you said
she
like
said she was
HBO got
keeping
the
me at the.
part, right? Like at that part
Yeah. So HBO approved. Are you talking about right after our audition, or are you talking about after our audition for Lawrence?
after you auditioned for Lawrence. Yes, I heard that part.
Gotcha. So yeah. So fast forward to November 2015. Um, she got she got picked up. Insecure got picked up for the season. I text her congrats. She said, "I'm keeping you at the front of my mind." January 2016, the next year, she texted me out of the blue and told me that she had the perfect role for me for Insecure. And she sent me the script the next day. She sent me the scene the next day. And the email said that here's the script, here's a scene. I want you to be Thug Yoda. If you don't like this, then we can find something else for you. And I was saying that it's first of all, no one does that. No one says if you don't like this role, we can find something else for you for an HBO show. Like no one does that. Like it's just
Right.
it's so nice of her. But I read the script and I'm reading it out loud, and I'm reading it in this LA nigga voice. So I was just like, okay, what if it sound like? All right, what if
What
it sound like?
is the nigga voice?
So the
Why?
first person I thought of two voices. I thought of Ray J, because Ray J, he kind of just has this voice. He's just like real excited, but it's kind of like it's like a little bit of a draw a little bit. He'd be excited like put these bunny ears, boom, go down like that. Cool, all right, for sure. And then I was like, okay. And then the other person I thought of because of Thug Yoda has a daughter. I was like, oh, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle. When we think about him, his voice is a little bit more like serious.
He's just kind of down here, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so like I combine the two, so it's like when Thug Yoda get excited, he just kind of like this Ray J version. But then when he get real serious, he like talk like this. He start talking like Nipsey Hussle a little bit. And so like that's the accent of like an LA nigga or whatever. Um, and so I combined those two, and then I went to audition for it. And as soon as I left my car, I like to go to my auditions in costume. And so I wore a white tank top, some baggy ass 501 Levi's, and some all red Air Force Ones. Went to the audition room. Her assistant was in the production office. She starts laughing immediately as soon as I walk in the office. I sign my name. I'm like, what do you want me to sit? You want me to sit right here? She's like, yeah, you can sit right there. I'm like, right here in this bear. Oh, okay, for sure. I'm sitting in this bear. Sit in the chair. Walk into the audition room. They start laughing immediately. It's Issa, Prentice, Melina Matsoukas, Vicky Thomas, casting director, HBO folks, and 3 Arts Entertainment folks. Audition, kill it. Second scene, second time I do the take, Melina is like, can you do it more dangerous? I do it more dangerous. Leave. As I'm driving home, Issa's like, don't shave, don't get a haircut. And then a couple weeks later, on April 1st, she told me that I booked it, HBO approved.
On April 1st. So on April Fool's, you got great news.
Yeah, and I was very skeptical. I did not think.
I would have
I
been.
thought I thought she was telling a story.
I love that. And so, first of all, amazing Ray J to Nipsey Hussle, and that obviously that helps me transition perfectly into voiceover acting. So we know you're an actor, we know you're an entertainer. You make us laugh. You are obviously dedicated to your passion. Talk to us a little bit about you being a VO actor and what that means. I don't know if everyone knows what it means. I've done my research because I think I can do it, but I also think I can do everything. So
As you should. As you should.
thank you. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah. So voiceover acting is pretty much what it sounds like. So whenever we watch anything on like a cartoon or anything that doesn't show an actor's face, that is considered voiceover acting. And so I've been fortunate to do some voiceover acting for Issa's company several times, starting with my first roles were on Issa's podcast called Fruit that came out a few years ago. It was on Howl FM, and we did 2 seasons. It was about a football player who was struggling with his sexuality and how people viewed him because of his sexuality. And I played multiple characters on there. And then from there, I did more voiceover for Looking for Latoya, which won a Shorty Award for, I believe it was Best Comedy Podcast, Comedy Podcast. And then that turned into We Stay Looking for radio, HBO, and Tenderfoot TV, which is a whole six episode podcast scripted comedy series starring Terry Javon and me. And it's basically about satirical true crime series where we find missing people, missing girls, and just shedding light on systemic issues and racial disparities within media and the criminal justice system. I mean, just the way that if a white girl goes missing, that's promoted a certain way in the media versus a black girl who goes missing,
Right.
or something like that. And so yeah, and so I've been fortunate to do some voiceover there, and then also today for PlayStation launched Horizon Forbidden West, and so I was able to do a few character voices for that as well. A lot of fun and motion capture. I got to put the little dots on my face and had a camera on my head at the same time, so that was a lot of fun.
I love that. How is voiceover acting different from just acting? Because I've had some actors on What We Watch with us, and they talk about how thousands of people audition for roles. How does that look for voiceover acting? And what are the obstacles that you've kind of run into with both? Or is one easier to get? Does one feel different, weirder, better? What's the difference there?
So the difference for me between voiceover acting and acting for the camera is that you do not have to worry about what you look like. You don't have to worry about what your face is doing. You don't have to worry about how you're dressed. You don't have to worry about if you bathed that day. I bathe every day, but you don't have to worry about if you bathe that day for voiceover acting. And you can do it from the comfort of your home. So it's so much fun because just like I did the voices for Nipsey Hussle and Ray J. I don't look like them, but like I can mold my voice to do that. Or, whatever. Or for example, if I want to be like Pete Davidson and just kind of talk like this or whatever, like I don't have to be Pete Davidson to be Pete Davidson. I just have this fucking voice. I fucking love Kim. Oh my gosh, she makes the best cookies.
Do people ever have notes on voiceover acting like they do for regular acting? Or I don't know
oh,
what the proper term is.
oh, oh yeah, absolutely. There's definitely notes all the time. So, like for
Right.
example, I did an Adult Swim animated pilot a few months ago, and can't say the name of it, but like,
We can't wait.
and the direct, I can't wait. And the directors, yeah, they're just like, okay, cool. So that was great. We had that one, and they always want you to do at least 3 different takes in a row. So if I say a line, if it's like, this dumbbell is heavy, then they'll just be like, give me 3 in a row that are all different. This dumbbell is heavy. This dumbbell is heavy. This dumbbell is heavy. So they just want you to have variety, and it's a lot of fun. I would say one of the challenges of voice acting is if it's like a voice that is not my regular voice, it is a challenge to maintain voices sometimes. So if it's like I have a voice and it's something that is something I can do, but something I'm not used to doing, and I have to maintain that for a whole session, a whole 3 hour session, sometimes it can be a little difficult.
You know,
And so I've just
I
hmm,
noticed that when I'm in acting too, when like an actor loses their accent for a second, you know what I mean?
yes.
Or like,
Yes.
and it's funny that you say that because I do DJ tags every now and then. So you're not the only one that does voiceover acting. Thank you very much. And you're right. They always ask me to send like 3 or 4 different kind of, bites, right? Like,
Yes.
so yeah, the dumbbell is heavy. The dumbbell is heavy. You gotta just like, accentuate different parts. So I love that you got to talk a little bit about that. Um,
Yeah.
Tristen, you are doing a lot. You've done a lot. You're a multifaceted guy. It makes me feel like you've been in this industry your whole life. But we talked a little bit. We've been following each other for a little bit, guys. Welcome to What We Watch. Welcome to What We Watch Film TV. We've been following each other for a little bit. I feel like I got to know you a little bit more to get into this space, and I want the audience to know you a little bit. Where did you start off? Where were you going to college? You mentioned you and Issa Rae were going to be doctors. Then y'all got into drama club, but I know there's a little bit more to that too. So tell everyone what was there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be a brain surgeon. Then I went over to the hospital. I was like, not doing this shit. And then so when I went to college, I was really interested in engineering. I love learning the way things work. That's just how my brain works. And so I went to college to be a mechanical engineer. And after 3.5 years of studying engineering and doing math, I was like, I don't want to do math every day for the rest of my life. I got to do math. I, I gotta do cosines and sines and tangents and angles and radius. No, I don't want to do this shit.
Right. No shade to me because that's my background.
Yeah, no shade to you. It just was not for me. I was like, I do not want to do this, and so I failed. I flunked out. I flunked out of college. I was like, I can't do this.
For
Um,
mechanical engineering, right?
yeah.
Okay, y'all were like our brothers, sister, cousins because I was civil and environmental. So, yeah,
Hmm.
friends that were MEs as well. But good, you made the right decision. That's what I was telling you. I got out a little late. That's why I'm making in Hollywood now. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was just I couldn't do it anymore, but at the same time, I was producing music. I had a friend who I met in college, David Bell. He introduced me to Fruity Loops, and I was like, well, "What is Fruity Loops?" He was like, "This is how you make beats." I said, "This is how everybody make beats." He's like, "No, this is how I make beats." And
Mm,
so he gave me the CD and gave me the software, and I started producing music that was terrible at first. But then I just started being like, okay, well, let me just listen to my favorite songs and see if I can recreate those songs. And that's how I just started producing music, is by just listening to songs and duplicating it, using my ear that I use to imitate people and being like, okay, cool, I can hear this sound in here. Let me see if I can recreate this, and I was able to do that, and that's why I love the Neptune so much, and that's why I love music so much too.
I love
That I
that.
was able.
We're gonna see how much the audience knows about the Neptunes because me and you, we love the Neptunes. We love Pharrell and
I,
Chad ago, and we talked about that. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna see what the audience knows. But you didn't tell them that you used to be work at Apple. What did you do at Apple?
Oh yeah. So I used to work at the Genius Bar at the Apple Store.
That is hilarious
Yeah.
to me. How,
I worked for Apple
like,
for 5 years.
wow, 5 whole years.
Got me a little plaque and everything.
Okay, you got to show us the plaque. You got to tweet us the plaque with what we watch. So back to voiceover acting though, because I know that we know you from Thug Yoda on Insecure, and we love that role. And thank you for walking us through that. But you have a few projects coming up, right? So one of them is for PlayStation, and one of them you got in trouble with today. So how did that go? What happened? What happened today with some of your new work?
It's interesting, and I learned this. I learned this from being on Insecure and on Bigger. Like, if you post something online, there is always somebody watching. First of all, there's always somebody watching, making sure that it's probably a publicist hired by the company, making sure you don't post anything inappropriate or derogatory against the brand. And so today, I was really excited. The game launched today. I was holding on to these pictures and this video that PlayStation had put up on their YouTube, and I was like, this is a video with me. The first words spoken in this video that PlayStation presented to the world about this brand new video game is my voice. So I'm going to post this shit. And so I posted the clip of the video and some pictures that I just took from that clip and a picture of me recording voiceover for that game on my Instagram. And then a couple hours later, I got an email from my agency, and they were like, "Hey, congratulations on the PlayStation game that we now know is Horizon Forbidden West. Here are a couple guidelines to help you in case you want to post anything on social media. And if you do want to post something on social media, make sure you send us an email and let us know what you're thinking about posting on social media." And so I was just like, fuck. I know what this is. I know this is them being like, "Hey, we see you." We see what you're doing.
Well,
And
I'm
so
I'm
and
screaming.
so I
Right? Because
I,
now
I,
I ask, who else was on that email? Was it just you on that email?
no. there were
So
there
you
were
got
nine
everybody.
there were 9 people on that email. It was the voiceover, one of the voice, it was 3 voiceover agents, the head of my agency, my manager.
They got it.
Everybody was on that email.
Hey, you know what? I love how gentle they were with you, though. Can we just?
Hmm.
I like that. I know it could be come off as like passive aggressive, but
Hmm.
like they had some other options. Like, do you think that they sent the best email, or would you have preferred like, "Hey, bro, just take that shit down"?
Well, no, they definitely sent the best email. They sent
Okay.
the best email
Okay.
because then I replied to the email. I was like, "Hey, thank you very much for these guidelines. I did make a post here and I sent them a link to it. And I said, let me know if this falls within the guidelines. If not, I'll remove it." And then they emailed me back and they were like, "You know what? This looks like it falls within the guidelines. You just reposted a video that PlayStation shared months ago. This is fine." And so everything turned out okay. But at first I was like, "Ooh,
You you know what
I'm
that
in trouble."
You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen like a sign, like randomly, like I don't know, it'll be on a bus or a train or like just any kind of public space, and you'll see a sign that says like "No break dancing on the ceiling," and you're like, "Wait, what?" And it's like there's a story there. Something happened, and someone did something. I remember being in Atlanta, and I saw it was like "Don't break dance and swing on the poles," and I was like, damn, who was breakdancing swing on the pole? So that just reminds you, like, hey, just so you know, don't post things like this. It's like, who was posting stuff? Because that happened
Right.
to me too. One time I was on a meeting with Twitter and I was screenshotting everything they were talking about. And then there's like a really sweet message that goes out, and they're like, hey, just so you know, we'll provide this docket for you at the end of the. And I was like, dang, do they know I'm taking screenshots? Like, it was like right after I took one. I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
my
They
bad.
know.
We'll send you this packet at the end of the lecture. So, anyways, that's hilarious. So you can talk about it though. So it's Horizon Forbidden West,
Yep.
and you are the voice of one of the characters on that game.
So I did at least 4 characters.
Ooh,
I
that's
did I did at least 4 characters on there. That was great.
and so did you get? Were any of them the Ray J kind of Nipsey Hussle, or were
So
they? Walk us through at least one. Don't get in trouble. I don't want your publicist here to.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no,
walk
no,
us
no.
through your process for at least one of them, if we could get that.
Well, well, I was really pleased to the video that I posted was the last voiceover session that I had. I had about 4 voiceover sessions. And so the video is from the last session that I did. And there was another actor who had voiced this character. Um, but when he voiced the character was not drawn yet. They hadn't done the artwork for this character. And so the actor was white, and so when they drew the character, they came up with this character who was a black man, and then they had this white character voice with this black man, and two things happened. One, the voice didn't match. His voice didn't sound like he he looked like the character, and the character didn't look like he sounded like that voice.
Mm,
The actor did a great job. He killed it, but the producer was very concerned. He was like, we are very much about representation, and we feel like it would be a disservice to have this character who is clearly a black man being voiced by a white actor. Like, no one knows that this is being voiced by a white actor, but we know it. And in my head, I said, and I can tell. Um,
mm.
and so they were like, since we have you and you've done a great job on these other characters, we would like for you to voice this character. And so and so by this time they had most of the animation done. The character at this time didn't have a beard, and he now has a beard. But I could see he was a black man. He was bigger, and I was like, okay, if he's bigger, that means he has. Okay, so that means he probably has like a deeper voice. So that means his voice is probably down here. Okay, his voice is down here. That's how he's talking. All right, cool. And then he's injured and he's hurt. He's waking up from being something attacked. So I was like, okay, so he's probably a little injured. So he probably sounds a little bit like this when he's talking. He's bigger. And he's probably talking like this, and it hurts for him to talk. So okay, this is probably him. This is probably what it sounds like right here. Okay, this is what it sounds like, especially. And so I put that all together, and then it came out great.
That is I can't wait. I'm gonna just buy that game just to hear you and come back to this recording too. So I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Guys in the audience, I don't know how long you've been here. We've been here 30 minutes. And Tristan, let me review. You've told me that you've been doing talent shows, and I think you did talk a little bit about the talent show because the name Jaleel White came up, right? Let me talk a little bit about that. Did you talk about that talent show yet?
Not yet.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the talent show. But I'm hearing talent show, awkward black girl, Thug Yoda, voiceover acting, radio series, voiceover acting for video games, a former mechanical engineer without like actually graduating, which that was the smart route. Congrats to you. 5 years at Miss Apple, music production. At this point, I'm like, what can't you do? Right? Like we're 30.
Word.
You what can't you do? You can do anything. And I love talking to most multifaceted black artists in Hollywood because we really do have our hand in a lot of stuff and then we find our passion through that. So I know that that's inspiring and, can help people find their passion. And as people come up towards the end of the room or of the space, they'll probably ask you about like kind of your journey through that too. But talk about the talent show because I know that we're jumping around everywhere, but that's fine because you do a lot. Talk about the talent show a little bit so people can know about that.
I'm trying to remember which talent show. I think
You talked
so.
about
I did a talent.
the talent show in the beginning, and then you talked about auditioning for like Jaleel White or something like that, or you fell in love with Jaleel White, and that's how you got into acting and knew that you at least wanted to go down that road at some point.
So with the talent show before, around the time of Family Matters, I did a talent show for the Boys and Girls Club out here. It's called Challengers Boys and Girls Club. It's in Vermont, out here in South Central LA, and my mom is a teacher and a single parent. She raised my brother and I, and she is always the go-getter type A personality, and she's always like, we're going to go above and beyond. They said do this, we're going to do this. So my mom I didn't compete with the other kids. I'm 6 years old. This is 1992. I'm 6 years old. I didn't compete with the other kids. I competed in the adult talent show at the Boys and Girls Club. And so my mom got her family friends. One of them is very talented. He played the keyboard, so he played out "The Greatest Love of All." They recorded it, and so now we had this on a tape. And I sang "The Greatest Love of All" at 6 years old in a talent show at Challengers Boys and Girls Club, and I had on. So imagine little Tristen. He had on a white dress shirt, black slacks. He had he had a
Church attire.
church attire. He also had on the African print cap and the African print sash going across him. And I'm singing The Greatest Love of All with a microphone that's bigger than my head. And I won third place in that when I
Okay.
was 6.
Against adults, mind you, right?
Against adults. Against adults. So that was great. But then to fast forward to Jaleel White. So Family Matters for me, and a lot of people when they bring up like black shows, what's your favorite black show? A lot of people diss Family Matters, and I get it because like mostly white writers, da 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 da. But for me, I saw myself in Jaleel White because I'm like, yes, I love science too. I love cheese too. Suspenders are cool, and so I saw myself in Jaleel White, and I love again the voice thing. Like he did something with his voice that was not his actual voice. Jaleel White sounded like this. He was real cool. But then he sounded like this when he did Urkel. So it was just, I'm just like, my mind was blown at 6. And so Family Matters had done this, TGIF, Family Matters did this contest to where you can submit a tape where you recreate a scene from Family Matters with Steve Urkel, and then you send that in to get picked to appear in the scene on Family Matters. My mom was like, we're going to do something better. We're going to create our own scene. Mind you, the rules said
This
to
is such
recreate a scene.
this is such a mom thing. Of course, mom did that.
The rule said to recreate a scene, but my mom was like, no, we're going to do our own scene. Y'all, the scene made no sense. My mom was like, we're gonna take your talent in singing and your talent in acting, and we're gonna put them together. Aladdin had just come out, and a popular song from Aladdin was A Whole New World. So she was like, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna walk in the room as if Laura Winslow is standing there, and you're gonna tell her that you love her, and you're gonna start singing A Whole New World. And that's what I did in my audition. And guess what? I did not book that role.
So what do you say to your mom today? Because I get it. You listen to your mama because that's what you're supposed to do, and then this is where you
Mhm.
be.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But
It's
you know what? I mean, to be honest, everything happened exactly the way that it was supposed to. So
exactly, and I think it's funny because I think I'm gonna put a little bit on you wanting to be Jaleel White. That's why you can't. That's why you're not no love interest, Tristan. You said you, of course, you said. Are you auditioning now? Let's talk about how you audition because now I feel invested. Now I want to see you as in a love interest role. Now we have to see you have to get this love interest role in your life. So what does a daily actor's voiceover actor's life look like? You live in LA. Shout out
Mhm.
to us. We out here. What does a day look like? Are you auditioning often? Are you getting accepted often, rejected often? How does that look? Because I have a lot of actors on the show and we talk a lot about that process and whether it goes from writing to pitching your own shows to, just auditioning for roles. So talk to us a little bit about that because now I really want you to get a love interest role. in
I appreciate you wanting that for me. But it's I am very, 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 very fortunate that I get to audition often. And so I'll just start by saying, we'll just take this past week, for example. I just over the weekend, like on a Friday, last Friday, I received three roles to audition for. And then on Tuesday, I guess they were like, it's Valentine's Day, we'll give them a break. And then on Tuesday, I got three more auditions to record, and everything is self tape right now, which I'm happy about because I like to be able to be like, no, I didn't like that. Let me go back and redo that. And so
Talk to
what
us.
happens is
I know what self tape is. Tell everybody what self tape is as opposed to the other options.
absolutely. So with auditioning, traditionally before COVID, we would, for the most part, go to an office where the people who cast shows hold auditions, and you wait in a waiting room. You wait for your name to be called. You go into a room, and it's usually the casting director, the person casting the show, their assistant, and a camera. And I'm reading with one of them as if I'm in the scene as memorized as possible, hopefully fully off book. and just doing my best to get that role. With self tape, I don't go into an office. I do everything myself. I have my own camera that I record myself with the same way I would do it in a casting office, except everything's on my own terms. I get to do it at my own time, at my own pace, and with a reader. And, I get to go back and edit it if I need to, go back and redo the scene if I didn't like it. Usually, when you go into an office to do an audition, usually they'll give you they'll let you do two takes. They give you two tries. And often, if they already know who they have an idea of what they want from that role, and if you didn't do that, then it's just one take. So self tapes for me takes some pressure off because I get to just, be a lot more free and get out of my head.
Okay, I love that.
Whenever I get an audition for a role, the first thing I do is hopefully they sent me the whole script. So right now it's pilot season. Pilot season is when we have brand new shows that are going to be coming out, and the pilot specifically is when they're like, okay, cool, we like the idea of the show. Give us an example of one episode looks like and film it. And so pilot season is just that. It's their casting, they're getting all the characters and the actors to play the roles on these shows to hopefully get a whole series made out of it, to get a whole show made out of it from 10 to 24 episodes. And so hopefully when I receive these emails for casting, they send me the whole pilot script so I know what the whole show looks like. Sometimes they just send me the scene that they want me to audition. And so what I do is I read the whole script first, and sometimes I take notes on the script. But what I always do is with the scene that I'm going to be auditioning, highlight all my lines, and then I go line by line and I take notes on what is happening in the scene, what the character is thinking about what was just said by another character or what was just done by another character, and try to make it as natural as possible. And I just read it as much as I can. I read it as much as I can. People ask, how do you memorize lines? It just comes naturally by reading it so many times until I feel comfortable with it. And then I'm like, okay, I need to get this out of my body and record this. And so I did that about 5 times this week. And it is time consuming. It's time consuming.
Everyone
Like,
take notes. This is dedication and passion right here. This is real art, right? I
yeah,
love
it's time consuming because in between that, I also know that, I need to look good too. And so I go to the gym when I can. I try and do that at least 3 times a week. So I'm not really doing much. So when people invite me to go out and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make it, I, I can't make it. I got to do this audition. I can't drink because if I drink, my eyes are going to be puffy and I'm not going to look good on screen. It can be any little thing that the casting director is like, ooh, something about this isn't right. And it could be the puffiness of my eyes because I went out drinking the night before. So it takes
that's
dedication and it takes discipline.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that part up because we don't talk about that a lot. Because, we respect people that are in professional, the mechanical engineers and the civil environmental engineers of the world, the lawyers, the MDs, everything that you did before you became, Thug Yoda on Insecure. And there
Hmm.
is a discipline, there is a discipline, and there is, a professional aspect that you need to keep as an actor. And I love that you just flat out said, like, I have to look good, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what sells on camera. And I really appreciate you saying that because that's huge, right? And so it
Yeah.
is. And part of looking good is feeling good. And after a night of drinking till 2 or 3 a.m. and you got an audition the next day, you might not be on your A game. So
Hmm.
there's sacrifices that you make as a creative and an artist as well that I love that you brought that up. So thank you for saying that for the audience. So this is what we watch. Follow What We Watch Film TV. You guys, we're going to have you guys come up here and talk to Tristen in about 15, 20 minutes. But before we do, you guys know that you got to walk away every single time with a recommendation on a show. And maybe in this one, I'll add in a little bit of fun on some songs that you should listen to or go revisit because you claim to be a Neptunes and Pharrell lover, correct?
This is
Um,
correct.
that's your bag. So no one in this room should know more than you. We'll see. So those of you in the audience, we there's a heart with a plus sign at the bottom. Funny enough, Tristen is very special in the weirdest way today. Twitter Spaces just changed the emojis. Now you have different colored hearts which I don't know what that's about. I'll talk to them about that. But they removed the 100 emoji, and I love to use the 100 emoji in my spaces. But now we're going to use the clapping emoji, and then use the peace emoji if you're not familiar. Or so we're going to use the clapping emoji. If you look at the bottom, press the heart with the plus sign. Clap emoji if you feel what we're saying. Peace emoji if you're like, nah, that's not what I would have started with. Okay, we're going to ignore the 15 colored hearts. I don't know what that means. What's the purple heart as opposed to a blue heart, you know? But Tristen, let's go back and forth. You tell me some Pharrell Neptune's productions, songs that you enjoy, and we'll have the audience see how they feel about what you bring up and what I bring up. How's that?
Absolutely, for sure.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna take the easy route because I want to see what you really know. But I'm gonna take the easy route. Clips grinding, y'all. My dog liked it. Uh, so nobody else liked it. All right, you got it. You go. Okay, thank you, Renee. Okay, thank you, King Nia. There we go. Okay, Tristen, go ahead.
Absolutely. Let's do Excuse Me Miss by Jay-Z.
Okay, okay, that's all right. Hey, how
Oh,
do you?
somebody still got
Who
100.
has the 100 emojis? Y'all still got. Okay, now I'm mad. See, now I'm mad. Yeah. You know, Pisces season started today. Twitter Spaces changed up some stuff today. They didn't kick me out my own space, and now I find out that some of y'all have 100 emojis and I don't. This is today, Tristen. Thank you for being patient with me today because I have a lot to complain about. Okay, so we got some answers for Excuse Me Miss, which I love. I do think I listened to that last week. Okay, my turn. Mystical Pharrell, Shake Your Ass.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, nobody feels me on that one. That's fine. Y'all taking a long time or y'all don't feel me on that one. Okay, now I see it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Heart sign with the plus emoji at the bottom right. Okay, now we're talking. Shake your ass is that beat. Go ahead,
It
Tristan.
is. And video.
Oh,
All
true.
right. This is one that I play often because it is my shit. You Don't Have to Call by Usher.
I don't even think I knew that was a Pharrell beat or Neptune's beat, and that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep. You
Okay.
don't have to call. It's okay, girl, because I'm gonna be your ride tonight.
Someone tweeted me that yesterday, actually. Oh, brother. Snoop Dogg and Pharrell Drop It Like It's Hot. Okay, so fun fact about me, I was in the step team, I think it's called, and we did a whole routine to Drop It Like It's Hot. And that's my baby sister. She was like 4 years old, and her name is Tati, so we say Drop It Like It's Hot Tot. So
Oh,
the Neptunes are very well loved and respected in this family. Okay, let's do a few more. You go another one.
okay. I for sure thought when you said Snoop Dogg, you were gonna say "Beautiful" featuring Pharrell.
That makes perfect sense. I love that too. What y'all think? That song is about me, thank you. So go ahead and just support him. And Snoop was talking about me, thank you. Okay, Justin Timberlake, Rock Your Body. And if y'all,
Wow.
what did you just say, Justin?
I,
Are you,
I said wow because I love that song.
okay,
I love all
okay.
these songs.
I was going to say, I said, you know what, we're going to end this space right now. Okay, your turn.
Let's see. Let's do "Nothing" by Noriega.
Okay, that's my shit.
Yep.
That's my shit. Okay, I'm going to take it to the islands because I'm an island girl. Panama stand up. I'm going to take it Beanie Man featuring Maya Girls Them Sugar.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
You knew I was going to say that.
I knew that was coming.
Okay, I got one last one and you got one last one. So let's do it.
Okay, cool. So then mine, you take it to the island. I'm gonna take it to Atlanta with "Southern Hospitality" by Ludacris.
Oh, that is my shit, okay? That is my shit. All right. Shout out to the women in the game. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. Oh, Brandy, did you peace sign emoji that? Okay. My girls know. The dolls know. Khalees, milkshake. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. I just wanted to, Tristan, I wanted to see how much people knew and what, what they really enjoyed. Come up later, guys, when you're talking to Tristan and tell me what you would have had. My dog is in the background making so much noise. He wants to tell me his thing. So let's go back to you, Tristan, and what you're watching right now. Tell everybody what you're watching right now. You're an actor, you're in Hollywood. but what about when you're just sitting and chilling? And what are you watching then? What do you like to watch? And does anything kind of inspire you while you're watching TV or movies?
Listen, the TV show that I watch over and over again, I watch episodes multiple times. Abbott Elementary. I have never laughed out loud so much. Abbott Elementary consistently makes me laugh every damn episode, especially this last episode when Principal Ava Coleman was like, somebody give me a chair. And then she sits down in the chair, she falls off the chair. Oh my God. That
Tristan,
shit kills me.
okay, how many times have you watched the episode?
3 times.
I've watched it 4 times.
Oh my God.
I've even posted it on Instagram, and like I try to post it just to let people see it without me dying laughing in the background, and I
Mhm.
can't not laugh. The Tariq scenes at the end. First of all, I need that song on Spotify or somewhere. I need that song streaming. I don't I'm a sober guy. I don't get high.
Throw your little hands in the air.
Put your tiny fucking hands in there. I just bleeped your girl. Bleep bleep. I'm like, what is happening? That's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. So Abbott Elementary, I'm with you. What else are you watching here lately?
I watched the pilot for Bel Air, and that was outstanding. I love the callbacks. Like first of all, they gave us let's see, what was that? That may have been like a 10 to 15 minute cold open, which ended with Will on the plane. And I don't want to give spoilers, but I mean, it's been out. So, drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass from the song. They had a little Easter egg of the champagne glass with the orange juice on the plane, just sitting there.
Yeah, they're being really cute about that. I really
They're
like.
being really cute about it.
I watched all the episodes. Let me know when you're done watching the up to like what season 4, episode 4.
Oh
Um,
shit.
really really cute. I like it. So you got Bel Air. What else? You got Ozark. You're watching Ozark. Every man
Yeah.
I know Ozark. Ugh.
Yeah, but I just started watching Ozark because everybody's like, "You're not watching Ozark?" So I just started watching Ozark, and this is some white mess, y'all. They get into some shit. They get into some white shit. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm
And
only on the second season, but wow.
okay, I stopped watching after the second season, so you're about to know more than me. I was just about to say, when you get to the second season, just so you know, it's still more people doing white shit, getting away with white shit on white. Oh yeah. Okay, and you are also watching. Tell us a little bit about because you told me, and I thought that was really cool. You're also watching a show that's season 5 comes out next week. What?
Yeah, Snowfall. Snowfall is amazing, and it holds a special place in my heart because Snowfall takes place in my neighborhood. I want to say, excuse me, I want to say in 2019, one night I walked out onto my porch and I looked across and I saw on a on a on some kind of there was some kind of contraption in the sky, and I realized that they were filming Snowfall a couple streets over from my house, and this contraption was holding this globe in the sky to light the area below it to make it look like moonlight, and they were filming a night scene for Snowfall. I binged all the episodes up until the most recent ones in a week. I loved watching Snowfall that much. And John Singleton, shout out to him, shout out to Idris, shout out to everybody involved with that show. It's incredible.
Oh my god, it's literally perfect. So that's so cool. You really saw like a crane and a contraption that emulates moonlight for some of the shots, and I can't help but just think about some of the shots like in the alley with Jams and Idris and Aunt Louie and Leon and stuff. Like you get to see that from your house.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's incredible.
amazing. I thought that was really really cool. I love that. Okay, so that's a little bit of what you're watching. And are you watching any movies? Because we all.
Um, so I just watched for the first time Crazy Rich Asians, and it was outstanding.
Oh wow,
I
welcome
watched.
to
It
20.
was
Wow.
it was incredible, and I am proud to say that yes, I cried when they were walking down the aisle, and that water filled up that aisle, and she took that step into that water to walk down the aisle. It was beautiful.
Okay, see, I love that for you. It's water sign season, Pisces season. Love that for you. Get into your emotional romantic bag. Which brings me to one good point. It's a pillar that I tell all of my guests for what we watch. and it is that every movie is a romance movie or has romance in it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Correct. I was gonna say because you can't disagree with me because you read every part and you're like, I'm gonna be a love interest in this.
One of
So
these days, they're
obviously,
gonna make me. I'm gonna love somebody better.
I know that's right, and we're gonna get you that part. And before we go into playing a couple games and questions, I did want to say that I want to shout out. Speaking of romance and speaking of love, Chad Hugo wrote "I Care" by Beyonce, y'all, and I just, I'm gonna go on record. That is one of Beyonce's best and most beautiful vocal performances and songs ever. She's amazing, and so of course, a Neptune was part of that. So I just wanted to say that Tristan, when you was like, "For real, the Neptunes for me," I'm like, "Yes, I'm with you. I get it." So let's play some games, Tristan. Let's
For
play
sure.
games. These are I want rapid fire. Just let's get to know a little bit about Tristan. Those of you in the audience, if you want to come up and ask Tristan some questions about anything he said, he's literally done everything. So come on up and talk about it. And get any tips or advice if you're trying to get in the industry. Tap the mic on the bottom left and request to come up and speak. We're gonna play a couple games and then we'll let you guys talk to him. So we're gonna start off with this or that. I'm just
Hmm.
gonna, give you two options and you rapid fire tell me what you prefer. Okay?
Got it. Easy.
Drama or comedy?
Comedy.
War or crime?
Crime.
Romantic or rom com?
Rom com.
Musical or animation?
Animation.
Okay, I got one for you. Comedy romance or comedy action?
Comedy action.
Okay, okay. Give me a comedy action movie that you like.
Jum- the new Jumanji movies.
Oh, of course. Of course. You know what? Yeah. Reality TV or game show?
Game show.
Action or adventure?
Adventure.
Okay, one last one. Superheroes or supernatural?
Ooh, supernatural.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Last game. Come on up and speak. Tap the mic. Get ready. Last game, Tristan. I'm gonna tell you a mood, and you tell me a TV show, TV episode, an actress in a scene, or an actor in a scene that you think about, or a movie, or whatever the case may be, that comes to mind first when you hear this mood, okay, or this word.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yep.
First thing that comes to mind. Afraid.
Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out.
Okay, that's a really good answer. Shout out Black History Month. Excited.
Hmm. Kelly, Insecure.
Okay, I love that. Come on, shameless plug. Sexy.
Jesus. Oh my God, I can't think of her name, and this is embarrassing. Woo, Harlem on Prime. God, the lead.
Megan Good.
Megan Good. Why couldn't I remember that?
I'm gonna remember that. This is recorded.
I'm
No, I'm just
embarrassed.
kidding. Passionate.
Tiffany, Insecure.
I love that. Sad. Did I ask you sad yet? No, I didn't. Sad.
Um, Earn on Atlanta. And specifically, it's the episode in season one where like they're trying to flip his cell phone so he can get more money. And Darius takes him to like the pawn shop and shit. And he realizes at the end of the episode that he's not getting money until like the puppies from the dog he just flipped get born in like 4 months. That
Shout
shit hit home.
out shout out to you for bringing up Atlanta. That's my shit. Brian Tyree,
Yes.
amazing. Oh my god. If
Out,
you work,
outstanding.
that'd be amazing. Okay, a couple
Hmm.
more moods. Criminal.
Um, shit. Well, the first thing I thought of was Damson Idris and Snowfall.
Dang, my boy is just a businessman. No, you're right. Hilarious is the last one.
Thug Yoda.
I was gonna say if you don't say Thug Yoda on Insecure, then what are we doing here? Good job. Good job. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Perfect.
you. Thank you.
Perfect. So do you want to plug anything before we get into some questions? Again, everybody knows you as Thug Yoda on Insecure. We're so excited that you talked a little bit about your journey, where you came from I want to be a brain surgeon to a beautiful shot at the very end of an Insecure perfect season finale where you're with your daughter taking pictures of her, right? Is that what,
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
correct?
that was beautiful. That
Was
was a
that
beautiful moment.
was that heartwarming? I love that. I love that for you. So
It
cool.
was. It was very heartwarming.
Anything that we should know, that we should tap into? Anything? We know it ain't no love interest. So tell us what else you got. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? You know what? First of all, so there, I did 2 seasons of a show called Bigger on BET Plus. It is now playing on BET Wednesday nights, I think at 11, I think. But you can binge both seasons on BET Plus. If you don't have BET Plus, you can get a free subscription, a free 7-day trial. And specifically, shout out to the creator, Felicia Mary. And the season 1 showrunner and season 2 consulting executive producer, Devon Shepard. He wrote the hell out of a bottle episode for my character Vince in the second season, which pulls from my real life as someone who went to college as a mechanical engineer and wanted to do something different and had to confront his mom about how he did not want to be a mechanical engineer, but instead wanted to be a DJ. So there is a bottle episode of that coming up in the second season of Bigger on BET, which I love. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. So please check that out. Please check out We Stay Looking. It's a HBO podcast, scripted podcast starring Terry J. Vaughn and myself. And if you're a gamer, check out Horizon Forbidden West that just came out today on PS5 and PS4.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. And yeah, he got in trouble already on Instagram, but everything else you see that he posts, he got permission for it, right? For the game.
Yeah,
You're good there.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Everything's good now. Everything's good. We're fine.
everything's
Everything's
good now.
fine.
You're good.
It's fine.
Everything's
It's
good.
fine.
Just a reminder. This is how you should do this. That's hilarious. Okay, I want to welcome Brandy. Hi. The minute I tweeted about this space, you were like, "Oh my God, I love Thug Yoda." So I'm really excited that you're here, and thank you for listening in. I do encourage somebody to ask Tristen J Winger, aka Thug Yoda, about tattoos at some point. But Brandy, go ahead. Welcome.
Oh, I didn't have a question prepared. I just been enjoying listening. Sorry to let you down.
No worries.
All good. Hi, Brandy. You're not a letdown. I appreciate you for being here.
Oh, well, now I need some Bleenex because you're so sweet.
Renee, welcome. Do you have any questions, comments, anything you disagree with what he said? Not me, because, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I did want to say, congratulations to you. I remember you from Awkward Black Girl. I definitely donated to the Kickstarter. I remember Facebook memories, how it's really cringy and you see all these terrible things you used to post and you're like, wow, thank God for growth. I remember posting about Insecure and being like, you guys have to donate. Not Insecure, Awkward Black Girl. You guys have to donate to the Kickstarter. This is the best show that I've ever seen. So I did want to make 2 comments. Number 1, I affirm you for not going to med school. It was shitty, the worst mistake of my life. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Number 2, I am sad that none of you guys mentioned Greenlight as a Pharrell song.
Ooh, that's true.
I'm very disappointed. And also the By Your Side Sade remix that the Neptunes did. Disappointed.
I know that's right. Come up here and check us.
I just had to gently reprimand y'all.
Thank you for being so gentle. Thank you for being so gentle. She said, tomato, however.
Also, there was I might as well ask about tattoos because I have 11 tattoos, so I love hearing about people's tattoos.
Oh, yeah. So was that the question? What's about the tattoo?
Yeah, let's make that the question. I didn't really have a question. I was like,
she just came up here to basically be the email that you got earlier today.
Actually, I did feel that email story because I was really late in turning in my hours and for my consulting job, and I was on the phone with Mo freaking out because they emailed all of us who didn't turn in the hours, and Mo was like, they're messy, they fucking.
They put y'all all together in one place.
Not even a BC. Dang.
Right, that's rude as hell. Now you can see y'all gonna talk to each other on the side, girl. You ain't send that email. But as far as tattoos are concerned, so last summer I was with some friends on vacation in Cancun, and I got my very first tattoo. Um, and I was peer pressured, not gonna lie, and I was also under the influence, not gonna lie. And so the tattoo that I got, it is a double vision tattoo, so it looks blurry, and it is a tattoo of the brain logo from Pharrell and Chad's band NERD. So I have that on my forearm.
Oh my
No
god,
one
that's
is a
super
bigger
dope.
fan than you. No matter if you didn't bring up Greenlight, Tristan. See there. Do you have a Neptune's tattoo, Renee?
No, but I haven't gotten a tattoo in a few years. I've been thinking about one.
I know, right? Is that all you had for him, Renee? Just a good reprimanding, which I love. Love that for you. Love that for us.
Yes, that's it. And like, I really enjoyed hearing the conversation. And I'll buy the game. I'm a gamer, so why not?
Yes.
I'm definitely going to buy the game, and I'm also. You were mentioning that you were talking to another ME, because again, my background, and there'll be a few podcasts out about this, but my background is civil and environmental engineering. I managed real estate for big billionaire tech clients, and that was my life, and I was absolutely miserable. And now
Mm.
I'm a writer and a show host in LA, not making anywhere near as much money. So pray for me on that.
Am-
But
Amen. Amen.
we're gonna get there. So I'm definitely gonna listen to what you were talking about there with your friend. That was gonna. Was that on the podcast or the radio show? That's on the radio show or
Uh,
bigger. There's so many
which
things mentioned.
are we talking about as far as like doing something that I did not want to do, or the character doing something he doesn't want to do?
No, yeah, you said that your friend was talking about like being an Emmy, or he used to be an Emmy, and he's in the show now. Did I mishear there?
Well, no, I was talking about my character in the show Bigger. In the
Oh, okay.
second season, there's a bottle episode where it's just my character,
Yes.
and there are flashbacks to when that character was younger and graduated high school, and his mom wanted him to go to college to be a mechanical engineer, but he was like, "No, I want to be a DJ," and that's what he decided to do.
Okay, I love that. I'm definitely gonna watch that. That's exactly what I was talking about. I'm gonna watch that because I want to see how that's kind of written out and presented. Welcome, Magella. Magella. Welcome to the stage. Do you have any questions, comments for Tristan? The
Hi. Yeah, it's Matt. It's Mad Yella because that's how my little nephew says my name in Spanish because he doesn't speak Spanish.
Oh, I love.
That's cute.
But I don't have a question necessarily. I'm trying to think of a question that's not like, you know, bring me into your life and let's be best friends. But I just want to say I love Thug Yoda. I know everyone loves Thug Yoda, but literally my favorite character in anything I've ever watched. And I guess one question I have is how long did it take you to get used to saying literally everything with a B and having to spell out that entire sentence about knowledge
Mm.
mom?
So it did take some getting used to. The fortunate thing is that the way it was written in the script is everything that he was supposed to say with the B word was written with B's. So like I just read it and it was already so. Now as far as as far as that first scene where I had to spell out the sentence, that was written out too, and it was actually longer than that. Because he says, Thug Yoda says, you should be fucking with a mom. Her Bitchass. So like, fuck her Bitchass. Yeah. So it used to be longer than that. So I just kept doing it because it was funny to me, and so I just kept saying it around the house, and that's what I do. Like my brother or whoever's in the house will hear me just kind of walking around the house saying things to myself. I'm going over lines, and so it was the same thing with that spelling of that sentence for Thug Yoda. I was just walking around the house saying it, and then I got to set, and then they showed me the updated script, and it was short, and I was like, yes.
That's a great question, Magella. I like that. Thank you for walking us through your process. So you're walking around talking to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
memorizing the.
Yep.
thank you for that. And then I
I do
guess
the
just
same
one
thing
last
when I'm walking my dog.
That's beautiful. An artist, okay? Period.
yeah, I guess just one last thing. I tweeted you a while ago. One day I'm gonna write a show and hopefully I'll make it far with help like these spaces and other people, and you have to be in it, and you have to make sure that you're just as hilarious as Thug Yoda.
I will absolutely be as hilarious, if not more hilarious. And this is the perfect community for you to do that too with what we watch. So just stay tuned with everything that they're doing. Pay attention to what Mo is doing as well, and you'll be there and call on me, please. Don't forget me.
I,
Never, ever.
I
Thank
thought you
you.
were about to give Tristan his first love interest role. See, what y'all not paying attention. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you
I
so
would.
much. We got 2 minutes left. Thank you so much for giving us your time, Tristan. One last question before we close it out. You guys follow Tristen J Winger on Twitter, and it's the same on Instagram. Tap into again Bigger, the HBO radio series. If you haven't watched Awkward Black Girl, go back and watch that as well. Oh, welcome, King Nia. Question for you: did you have a favorite episode on Insecure as Thug Yoda?
My favorite episode as Thug Yoda, or just my favorite episode of Insecure?
Both. Yes.
My favorite episode as Thug Yoda was definitely his first episode. That introduction was everything. And also, like, can I tell a quick story?
Heck
I
yeah.
feel like I want to share this. So, quick story. So, um, flashback to me in my early 20s. I was working at Target, and I was hanging out with a friend, with a coworker, and we were talking about our dreams. And I was like, you know what? I really want to get back into acting. I love acting so much. I want to do it. And she was like, well, set a goal for yourself. When do you want to be an actor? And I said, I don't know. She's like, well, what age? I said, okay, well, by 30. She was like, okay, so make it a sentence. And I said, all right, well, by 30, I want to be acting on TV. Fast forward to shooting my first 2 episodes of Insecure. We shot that May 11th, 2016, shot my first 2 episodes. So I'm there on set, shooting my first scene with Lawrence as Thug Yoda. I shoot the first shot, and it goes well. I get all my lines down, everything's cool. Issa comes over to me, she's like, hey, so you're looking a little stiff, just loosen up a little bit. And what was really going on was that I was taking in the fact that I was shooting a HBO TV show the day before my 30th birthday. So
You
May
know,
11th, day
I
before my 30th birthday.
I have to stand. All right, you guys that are in the room, this is amazing. How inspiring. You said that, and who made you say that sentence?
One of my coworkers when I was working at Target.
That's amazing. Okay, shout out to that worker. Take them out for lunch or something. That's amazing. I want everybody to do that for themselves too. Like tonight, by this age, I'm gonna do this because it is huge. I mean, it's so amazing that you came and talked to us. You are an actor on one of the biggest shows of the pandemic, to be honest with you, and extremely important for Black people, right? And this Black History Month, this is what we watch with Black History Month, and were an integral part, and you touched the hearts of many people as Thug Yoda, and I think that's beautiful. And to know that you did it and you were on set the day before your 30th birthday, like talk about saying and doing what you say you're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. So your favorite episode outside of being Thug Yoda, because you answered the first one.
Oh yeah, my favorite episode aside of Thug Yoda is episode 407, 408. Basically, it's the episode where Issa and Lawrence go on a date. It is the best episode of television I have ever seen in my life.
Heck yeah, baby. Oh my God. And just the finale really gave it a really good payoff. Like, obviously, the journey to the finale, too, but just
Hmm.
seeing how that was written and how the character arcs ended up with Eason. Oh my God. I loved it. I loved it.
It's beautiful.
Did you ever get to be on set and this is for more for the audience, too. Did you ever get to be on set for episodes you weren't in? Did you ever ask to be on set?
No, and usually that's not allowed unless like you're a series regular or a producer or a writer or something like that. Just because there's so many moving parts. There's so
Right.
much happening. You may see 2 people on set in a scene, but behind that camera there are 50 people. There are
And it,
50, at least 50 people behind that camera.
it's crazy, right? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I wanted the audience to hear that. So I wanted to welcome Nia, and then we'll wrap up. King Nia, thank you so much for coming up. No pressure on questions. If you just have comments for us too, that's fine.
Okay, hey, I just wanted to give a shout out and say thank you for doing this because I'm a big fan of Tristan
Thank
and
you, Nia.
I'm
Good to
so
hear your
proud of
voice.
you. I'm
Thank
serious.
you.
Like, I had a real, I guess, egocentric kind of question, but only because I never knew this. So, like, how did you get the role on East of La Brea, the show that I helped create, that
Yes.
nobody knows about, but I never knew how you got that role. So, could you tell us? And
Absolutely.
yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you.
So Issa La Brea is a beautiful web series and show created by Nia. Let me see, how did that happen? So, and that was done also, that was produced by Powder Keg Media, which is Paul Feig's media company. So let me think. Okay, so I think what happened was I was looking for, so I had written a digital show for Comedy Central called Elephant in the Room. It was about a black Republican. And so I needed a co-writer for that because I was an inexperienced writer. And so I was partnered with Samir Gardezi, and Samir also wrote on Issa La Brea. And he reached out to my manager and also the folks at Powder Keg were like, oh well, let's see if Tristan could audition for this. And so I auditioned for it, and it worked out. Like I remember going into that room, and by this time I had done a lot of auditions, and so like I noticed that, like, okay, no one is taking a headshot, so there's no reason for me to take a headshot to an audition anymore. This, I don't need to do that. And I remember getting there, and then and I didn't have a headshot, and they asked me for a headshot, and I was like, oh, I don't have a I don't have a headshot. And it's like, oh, come on, man, what you doing, man? You supposed to be professional. You ain't got a headshot. Come on, man, get in this room. It was an older black man. Shout out to him for checking me. But I auditioned it. Everybody was in the room. Laura from Powder Keg, Kessela from Powder Keg was in the room. Samir was in there. Read it, and it was just so funny. That character, the cousin, it was
I
so
loved
funny.
it. I
Shout
really
out to
loved
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
No, because like I felt like we were honored by having you there because I think you like. Anyways, you know how I feel about you. Like I'm one of your biggest fans. So,
Thank you.
but this little show about this black Muslim girl, and
Hmm.
we get to have you on there. So I thought that was really dope. So shout out to you and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for
So
having me.
No,
this
absolutely.
beautiful. First of all, King Nia, what we watch in the History Month series is so that you don't have to come up and say the show that nobody watched. So I'd love to have you on the show to talk about your show for sure, because we definitely want to support all of our Black artists in the industry. And so thank you, Tristan, for telling that story because I think that's really beautiful. And I love when people get a little bit of behind the scenes on what it takes to be a creative, right? So, King Nia, I'd love to have you on the show.
I really appreciate that. You're dope.
And if you have anybody else that you would nominate for the show, let me know. But Tristan, thank you so much for joining. And you guys follow What We Watch Film TV and follow Tristan, aka Thug Yoda, on Instagram, on Twitter, and check him out on all his series. I'm so glad everyone could do this. Tristan, thank you again for your time. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we're gonna tune in. I can't wait to see your next stuff and or your next projects. And when we come back to this recording later, I'll be like, I got to talk to him when he makes it even bigger. Because you already have an HBO Max actor credit, which, my goodness, like you are doing the damn thing already. So thank you again, and
Amen.
guys for joining. Bye. This recording will be available